One single loss will make one person leave instantly, even after you get them in a Discord call and shit, stay connected. Yeah. The only way to do it is you just play, like, when you don't already have a friends list full of people to play with, the only way to do it is you just play with pugs until you find friends. And you don't add anyone to your friends list unless, like, everything goes well. And usually, like, my rule is if I have a positive win rate with somebody, they get added to and they're over a certain rating, they get added to the friends list. And when I need players to play with for arena, I go to the friends list first. They get first pick, you know, like they're priority. If there's no one on my friends list to play with, I go to the LFG and I look for new friends, you know, to like add to the friends list. And eventually the idea is you'll have like 10 or 20 regulars, you know, or like 5 to 10 regulars that you're playing with regularly. You guys have good synergy. You guys have similar experience. You guys have similar goals. But it's hard because there's so many people that, like you said, like one loss and they rage quit. Those people aren't the people you want to play with. That's when you say GG's bye. You know, those are the GG bye people. They don't have patience. They don't understand what it takes to get an achievement, a goal like Gladiator. They don't understand what it means to work on a team with other people. They want what they want and they want it now. And that's not how teamwork works. So you'll never get far with those people. So you can't be mad at them, you know, they're just not the right people for you. You have a goal and they're not willing to share the work that takes to get that goal. You've got to just keep looking for the people that are willing to share that work, put in that effort to stick together as a team. That's how you build an arena team. That's how you go Gladiator. You find people that you mesh well with, you stick with them. You got to dig through a lot of pugs, you got to dig through a lot of quitters, you got to dig through a lot of lazy and a lot of bad, but you find the gems and you keep them in your friends list. PvP does demotivate people to communicate less. I don't know about that, man. I mean, PvP is the only reason I've ever, like, PvP and Raid are the only two reasons I've ever gotten in the Discord of people. I don't get in the Discord people over M+. I mean, I probably have, but like that's not my preference, you know, like PvP and raiding is when I get in the Discord people, so I don't know. I've never gotten reported in PvP, and it's because I just am nice to people. If I don't like the way they play, I just leave the group. I just leave the group, man. I'm talking in game too, like not even just Discord, like in game. Like if you don't want to get reported, just don't talk shit, man. Most of the PvP I've done has been through in-game comms. You know, it's just that, like, you know, if I don't like the way people play, I don't tell them how bad they are and tell them how much I hate them. I just be like, all right, thanks for the games, and I leave group and I go find another person to play with. And I just keep doing that until I find someone that you know, it's a good match. You know, I don't make it other people's problem that we're not a good match, you know, like it's an arena partner, you know, you got to find people that, you know, that mesh well with you, you know, you can be friends with and you can work with and all that stuff, create good strategies with. Well, that's solo, man. Like, you know, like you just got to accept what you get, you know. If you want to be picky, then don't do solo. You got to form your own team for that, man. Like, you know, I forget, if I'm not mistaken, you're kind of a newer player, relatively speaking. But, you know, back in my day, the only way you could do arena is you had to form a team. And that team was semi-permanent. Like you had to go into your PvP tab. You had to build a team. You had to literally create a team from scratch. It was an investment. I think it cost gold, maybe. You had to make a name for it. And then you had to invite people. You could only have 5 people on that team. And you could only PvP with those 5 people. If you wanted to PvP with anybody outside of those 5 people in your arena team, you had to leave the team. And if you left the team, you lost your rating. Maybe it wasn't a gold cost, but you lost a part of your rating, and you'd lose all your MMR if you ever left your arena team. So everyone only had 3 to 4 partners that they could potentially PvP with at any given time. So the game was really hella focused. Yeah, for real. That's how it worked before. That's how it worked all the way up until Mists of Pandaria. It was like that in Cataclysm. It was like that in every expansion, Cataclysm or prior. You know, and so you only played with your closest friends. You only PvP'd with your closest friends. You weren't ever playing with strangers. That's just not what the game was designed for, you know? So, like, my perspective's a bit different. You know, from my perspective, you pick an arena partner. You pick a handful of arena partners, and you stick with those people. You know, nowadays, because there's an arena team, you might have 20 people that you stick with all the time, but they're in your friends list. You know, you don't just play with random freaking strangers, because random strangers are oftentimes going to suck. And even if they don't suck, you may not have any kind of like, synergy with those people. You might have different opinions or different ideals or different strategies that may not mesh well. So like, it used to be a big deal that you had to find your arena partners and commit them to your team, and that you guys stuck together. You planned when you would play together. Outside of WoW, you'd plan when you would play together. And yeah, it was super good. Yeah, Classic Kata didn't have the arena teams. When I played Classic Kata, it felt more like you rely on LFG, but I guess because, see, there was no LFG back in real Kata, because we were living more in a modern style, which is more solo-like type of shit. Yeah, straight up. I would like to have that type of shit. What the fuck, man? Yeah, it's straight up. It's cool. Like, I mean, it was really inconvenient in some ways. Like, you could only play with the same 3 to 4 people. It's kind of inconvenient, you know? Like, sometimes you want to play and nobody's on, you know, and that sucks. Or sometimes your arena partners quit. Sometimes your arena partners die. Like, sometimes they don't ever come back, you know? And, like, that's rough, because, like, you got to remove them from the team, and it reduces your team's entire rating. Because basically the way it works, your team at a rating, like the team itself, like, let's say I made a team right now named the Rascallions. It's a 3v3 team. I invited you, Hazed, Joe, you know, a handful of people to play on it with me. We could only play together. We each have our own individual MMR, but our actual rating is set by the team. So like, let's say we all played together and we got 2200 together, and you decided that you don't want to play with us anymore. You're going to go find new people to play with, and you left the team. You have 0 rating. You have 2200 MMR, but you have 0 rating now. You got to start all over. You know, so like, it was a whole different level of commitment to your friends and to this team, and you know, people took us serious. So it was like a whole different world. And so my perspective heavily still comes from that. Like, sure, we have the freedom of being able to play with whoever we want with now, but that doesn't mean I want to just play with everybody and play with like strangers all the time. Like, it means that I want to play with the pugs to meet good players, get them on my friends list, and then I want to play with those players over and over and over and over again. You know, because like, that's how you find people that you like playing with, and that they perform the way you expect, you perform the way they expect. Everyone's meeting each other's expectations. Everyone is relying on each other to pull their own weight. Everyone's working together to keep the team together. You know, and it comes back to just like that level of commitment to PvP. And yeah, it is a pretty good mindset. Like, I never thought about it, that people would have a different perspective, because like, in your case, you started in like Legion, if I'm not mistaken. You never knew that world. So that's crazy to me. This has been really eye-opening. It's a really eye-opening conversation, because that's a huge thing that's changed about PvP since the beginning of WoW. Yeah, in a way I like it too. I think that it has its perks, that's for sure. It was inconvenient at times, but it had its perks. Yep. Like, when I got my first 2.2, like my first 2K plus rating, I didn't do it with random pugs. I pugged randomly to 1500, and around 1600 I started meeting people, and I made friends with this one guy named Computer. His character, he's a holy pally named Computer, and another guy, he was a Brazilian Frosty K named Antares Khan. And we played only with each other. This was in Legion. We played only with each other, period. Nobody else. Nobody else understood our strats. Nobody else understood how it is that we each played, each of our own individual play styles. We were friends. We hung out. And you want to know the craziest thing? You want to know the craziest thing? Antares Khan didn't speak English. Antares Khan did not speak English. He got in Discord with us, but he had no microphone. He was from Brazil, and he didn't speak English. The way we communicated with Antares Khan is I literally would type our strategy into Google Translate, and I would copy pasta it into chat, and he would read it in Spanish. And then he would send me his response in Spanish, and I would put it into Google Translate and type it back into our chat for me and Computer to look at in English. You know, like, That's how you build a fucking team. That's how you get Glad. And we almost had Glad too. It was actually, I got impatient. Me and Antares Khan got impatient. Computer was in college and we kept telling him just to drop college and play more arenas with us. Not for realsy, just memeing. But we just kept memeing on him. He needed to quit college. He was in pharmacy school. And we were like, just quit college and go Glad with us. Have more time. And he obviously, he was not going to quit college for that. So literally, like, Antares Khan and I got impatient and we tried pugging with some strangers, and Computer got 2400. He got his achievement. He got Gladiator. Me and Antares Khan tanked 400 points on the last day of the season trying to push for a few extra points, and we ended up just getting 2k. It was so fucking funny. It's the closest I've ever gotten to Gladiator. And you want to know what's up? Computer, Fidencio Aguirre, right here. This is him. 2K Holy Pally. He's still on my friends list. We still chat regularly. I was just talking to him yesterday. We still talk. And Taurus Khan, unfortunately, doesn't play WoW anymore. You know, I think things were complicated with his living situation in Brazil, and unfortunately, we lost touch. But yeah, like me and the Holy Pally still talk, and like we still talk about get back together, man, and going Glad, you know, because like literally we're the dream team, you know, like it was us three playing, me, my warrior, Computer on his Holy Pally, and then Taurus Khan on his Frost DK. That's how you build an arena team. That's how you go Gladiator. You find people that you mesh well with, you stick with them. You got to dig through a lot of pugs. You got to dig through a lot of quitters. You got to dig through a lot of lazy and a lot of bad. But you find the gems and you keep them in your friends list. Maybe I could join. I can be your Frost DK replacement. Hey man, maybe. He's no longer in medical school. He's now actually a pharmacist. I think he's in his residency now. You know, so he's got more time to play. He plays in the evenings. I haven't talked about doing PvP with him a whole lot in a while, but you never know, man. Possibly. My warrior is all set up. He saw me every time he sees me log on my warrior. He's like, bro. So you know, that's how you go Glad. There you go. That's how you do it. You find the right people and you stay true to them, man. You don't forget their name. Yeah, congrats to him. Yeah, he did it. Man's a pharmacist now. Makes big money. Makes real big money. I'm sure. So yeah, good for him, you know. But yeah, man, there you go. That's an old school WoW player's perspective on how you get Glad. You find the players that you mesh well with and you just keep playing with them, man. You guys work together, you get better together, you talk at every loss, you talk. Whenever you lose an arena and you're with players that you actually want to keep playing with, you talk. Why did we lose? What went wrong? What could we have done better? What are we going to do different next time? Those are the questions that come up after a loss. If those aren't the questions that are immediately asked after a loss, that person is not your arena partner. That person is a pug. And also another problem, ever since solo shuffle is a thing for a few years now, arena has been having less people overall, and even ranking up is harder. I've heard that. I haven't really done any arena at all since solo shuffle came out. I was really excited for solo shuffle, and then like I got completely screwed over. Like I'm a 2K resto druid. I've never not been a 2K resto druid, not in many years. And I got hard stuck at 1600, and Blizzard just kept putting me in lobbies with 1300 players. I don't really want to play solo anymore after that. You know, play solo shuffle. Like if I did arena today, it would be with people from my friends list, and it would be us just having fun and working together and going as far as we can. You know, and I'm down to pug for new friends too. You know, like that's part of life. But you know, I don't push rating with pugs. Although with that being said, I was actually a stream on my YouTube channel, a live stream. It's a 9-hour stream where I went from 0 rating or maybe 1K rating to 2K to rival. Oh my butt. This has been a while. In a single stream. And I actually pugged that whole thing. But by the end of the stream, I wasn't pugging. I started the stream off with no partners, pugging every person I played with. And by the end of the stream, I had lifelong arena partners. In fact, I still have them on my list. One of them was Razgar. Oh, is he not in here? Oh yeah, River. This guy right here. This guy right here. In Shadowlands on my Frost DK, I got 2K with him. He was a pug. He was a prop paladin pug that just worked out really good. And like we went from 1500 all the way up to 2K together in a single sitting. Yeah. Shuffle's not serious. Shuffle is a mini game. It's meant for practice. It's meant for fun. You know, it's not meant to be like where you prove your mettle. That's not what it's for. You can't take that serious because you're not playing with people over and over and over again. You can't build any synergy. You can't build any camaraderie. You can't build any teamwork. They're never going to sit with you at the end of the solo shuffle and be like, hey, man, I noticed that you didn't do this. You know, hey, this priest, you ran right into the priest. You stacked on top of us and we all three got feared and it directly led to us losing. They're never going to take that time to tell you that. That's what arena partners are for, man. Not randoms in solo shuffle. Yeah, fucking Prop Pally. Yeah, Prop Pally in Shadowlands was ridiculous, man. It was crazy. It was so crazy. And yeah, you can get screwed over in shuffle. People can throw. People can win trade. People can just quit. People will have 1300 MMR when you have 1800 MMR. Like, it's not in your control. That's why you can't take it serious. Actual real arena is in your control. Every last bit of it. Who you're playing with, when you're playing, what comp you're playing, what strategy you're playing, the talents that everybody's choosing, the gear that everybody's choosing. That's all in your control. That's how you push Glad. That's how you have fun, man. Yeah, bad matchups. Yeah, not every composition is a winning comp. You know, like TSG, for example. That's what I got my first 2K with. That's what I played from Cataclysm all the way up until Legion. I only played TSG or TreeSG. TSG with my Warrior or as my Frost DK, and TreeSG as my Resto Druid. Those were my only comps I played for threes. Period. And so that means that I've played hundreds and sometimes even thousands of arenas with that exact composition. You know, like, you can't exchange that kind of experience for anything else. You can't do it. I've played TSG from every position. I've been the Holy Pally, I've been the Frost DK, I've been the Arms Warrior, I've been the Resto Druid, I've been the Resto Sham. That's how you like master a comp. That's how you get Gladiator. Yeah, people getting boosted. Yeah, buying their rating. Oh, I got Legend. I'm so good. No, you're not. Stop the cat, bro. I got boosted due to your class. Yeah. People getting boosted, man. So yeah, you can't take solo shuffle serious, man. It was never meant to be taken serious. It's a place to have fun, try out new builds, try out new specs, try out new classes, try out new comps. At best, it's a place to meet people, to add to your arena partner lineup, you know, to your arena roster, but that's about it. Oh yeah, because you like the illusion. Does it actually have its own specific illusion, or is it just the same illusion you get from getting 1800 in any PvP? You wouldn't add people from Shuffle? Dude, what are you doing? At all? Like, bro, like, nah, dude. Every time I go into a solo Shuffle and I meet someone cool and that's good, that's the first thing I do is I add them. Like, that's what you're partly there for, is to find cool people that are good. Same illusion. Yeah, like, why are you pushing in solo for that illusion, man? Like, you could get that in RBGs or 2s so easily. Like, I know you have people on your friends list that are good. Like, you're literally in, like, a guild with a bunch of really great... Well, I don't know if you're still in Defiled, but, like, you know, you met a lot of really good players and stuff, you know, playing with me and Hayes and everybody. Like, I know you've got people on your friends list. Like, you could go 2K in 2s anytime you want. So, like, you don't have enough XP. They could also not like playing with you. Well, that's why you ask them. It's like, hey... this is great. You want to queue more? You know, like, I've actually met people in solos and then asked them if they wanted to queue 2s afterwards, and then and added them as a friend in the solo shuffle. How the hell? Where is everybody? Where am I? What's happening? I don't know how to find them. Yeah, dude, I'd rather play arena than solo too, man. I don't want to have to like go through the never-ending rain of like playing with randos that don't know what they're doing over and over and over and over and over and over again, man. Like I want to meet my arena partners, meet some friends that I like playing with, and I want to play with those guys. You know, like that's what it's all about, is making friends, meeting neat people with similar interests and goals and similar experience, and you know, forming a group goal and then everybody pursuing that together. That's like what it's all about. Oh, we're down here. Okay. We're down here. Oh my glove. Okay. It does exist, man. That's how, like, if you watch the streamers, if you watch like Sidu or Zaryu or Peekaboo, you watch any of the WoW PvP streamers, they aren't playing with randoms like over and over and over again. They play with the same people that they've played with since Cataclysm. And when they do play with new people, it's because they're people they're introduced to through their friend group. You know, like you know, like the rank 1 gladiators aren't playing solo shuffle looking, you know, trying to get rank 1 glad and that stuff. They're playing with their rank 1 gladiator friends. Yeah, sometimes it goes that way, man. Sometimes you meet people and you think they're going to be cool, and then they end up being dickheads, you know? Like, that's a part of it, too, you know? Is like, not everybody's going to be a gem. But that's why it's like when you meet people you do like, and you want to, you know, and you do keep playing with them for years, like that's why it matters. Like, you know, the way I met Hayes was that way. Like literally back in Cataclysm, end of Cataclysm, literally the very last season, last week of the season. Yeah, that was brutal. Very last season of Cataclysm, Hayes, my holy pally gets off work and I get home from school and I message him like, hey man, you want to do last end of season push for raiding? And we had an arena team, and he was like, no, I'm gonna be playing with this other guy actually from my fancy new guild. He was in Daramak tier, which you probably don't know what that is. They were a #1 PvP guild at the time. And I was like, what? You're not gonna play with me? And he's like, nah, dude, I gotta help this guy from the guild. He's really good. And I was like, whatever. And so he went and played with Hazed, and I went and got a different healer, and we queued into 2s, and sure enough, first game, my healer and Hazed versus me and the new healer that I just found, and my healer and Hazed won. And I immediately messaged him and I was like, what the heck, man? You got a different Frost DK. And he was like, dude, you got to meet this guy, though. He's crazy. And so he invited me into the vent call, because it was vent back then. And we got an event call, me and Mike, and I was just like, dude, you did a lot of damage. Like, what did you do? And me and Mike just started talking about DPS and just started talking about Frost DK. And like, we just started dueling. And, you know, we've been friends ever since. Like, neither of us talk to that holy pally anymore. But, you know, Hayes and I have been friends since then, man. And, you know, like, that's like straight up how I met Hayes, was through 2v2 Arena. You know, all my friends that I hang out with either are from Arena or from my content. You know, like it's like you know, coming in and like seeing the stream and like hanging out and talking and eventually, you know, wanting to play. So like, you know, that's how everybody on my list is. They you know, they're either from arenas or they're from like you guys. You know, so.